Next, you have a magnetic force. Right. Magnetic force is a power which pulls different materials towards a magnet. It attracts only some types of metals. Metals such as glass, wood, plastic are not attracted. Metals which attract means it has an iron content towards it. Okay. In that we have a two poles, that is north pole and south pole. Okay, one of the north pole and other south pole will be come closer, it start to attract, where north pole will repel each other. North pole repels each other. When you have a same pole will repel each other, we have a different pole, it will be attract each other. See here, north south will be there, north south, south north. So north repel each other, south repel each other. North south will be attract each other. Okay, student. Here we have an reflection force, frictional force. In this frictional force act as opposite direction to stop a moving object in the direction of moves. For example, you are swinging, you want to stop. That time you automatically make to stop. Now that is an opposite direction. It attacks upon the two things: one stationary, another moving. A rough surface has more friction than the smoother one. A rough surface will be then has more friction than the smoother one. For example, how to do it? Let we suppose have some examples here. Suppose you push a notebook on the table, the book will move. The force of applying moving the book as notebook slides across the table. It slows down at a distance and the motion of the book stops. The opposition of motion is called friction. Okay, see here the force is applying towards the book. As the book slides across the table, it starts to move like this and slows down at a distance. It starts to slow down at a distance and the motion of the book stops. The opposition of book motion is called friction. Let us discuss about this. Friction can be reduced by using the lubricant like oil, wax or grease to make the surface smooth. See here, you are playing with the carom board. First, if you are not applying anything powder for this, it does not move very faster. So that will be your having the friction without friction. We can do the friction, we can apply the friction in the smoother way, means you will apply the some powder. It start to move like that. So this is about to reduce the make the surface as a smoothen. Okay, while walking, what you will do it, you will be in the slippery way, you will be using your, if you are having a tile, okay, you have a tiles at home, you will be keep on falling on your granite. What you'll do it, you wear your chappal or a slipper which is a non-lubricated, means it is a hard surface of your hard surface of the path. So friction can be reduced by lubricant like oil, wax or grease to make the surface smooth. If you have to move an heavy body, it is easy to move the box if starts in the smooth or the box has a wheel. Okay. In the game of the carom board, the player spread the fine powder on the board. It makes the board slippery. The striker moves easily because there is a less friction. Means friction means a rough type. We can make the smooth or we can make it very rough as we required. Next, advantage of the friction. Friction helps in the walking on the floor. When you walk on the floor, it holds your slipper to ground and allow you to walk. See here to walking, it requires the frictions. It helps to walking on the floor. You want to walk on the floor, you hold your slipper to ground and allow you to walk. And next one, it helps in writing. You cannot move a pencil without friction with the paper. You keep on writing, you will be keep on writing with the paper. An eraser uses friction to rub your off mistakes. See here, I'll be keep on writing. So this is a friction. This is a friction. I'll be keep on writing here. I'll be keep on writing here, and this is will be a smooth surface. This is a friction. If I'll do some mistake, I'll take the eraser and I'll be rubbing off. So this will be a uses of your friction while rubbing the mistakes or with the something else with the papers. Okay, here, without friction you cannot start a car or stop it. So you require the without friction you can't start the car and stop it. That is a friction. Disadvantage of the friction. What is the disadvantage of the friction? Excess friction means excess force. To move a heavy vehicle, extra fuel should be needed to move the power vehicle in a car, boat, or aeroplane, etc. See here, you require a friction is very important. Okay, if you are this means excess friction means excess force. So more friction will be there, more force, more extra fuel should be required. So heavy required. So that is equal to the power is required. The excess of the friction makes the movement difficult. For example, riding a bicycle and walking through the deep snow. Soles of the shoes and a pencil eraser as example of material that wear out of come out of friction. So it will be a disadvantage for you. If the sole of the shoe is not proper, you will be start to slippery. It require your rough surface. Okay, so this will be the disadvantage of friction. Next, coming to the muscular force. Muscular force is applied when the muscles are used to push, pull, twist, lift, or stretch a object. You want to take an heavy object, you require the muscular force. It is mainly for you people to do some exercises and many things you without muscular force we not able to take a heavily object at all. To lift a heavy object, we require muscular. To pull an object, heavy object, you require muscular force. Similarly, you have a mechanical force. A knife cut an apple. A screwdriver tighten a screw. Knife, screwdriver are the example of simple machines. The force is used by the machine to do something is mechanical force. Mechanical force mechanically using with an instrument. It is called as an mechanical force. Now coming to the electrostatic force means elastic force. Here, a stretching a spring or a rubber band regains its original position size after being released because of elastic force. So the origin shape and the size after being released because of electric force. Okay, student. Next, buoyant force. It is a force upward exerted by the fluid on the body which is fully or partially immersed in it. Take a glass and water will be there. Will be done many experiment using at home, taking your jug immersing in the bucket. So if you immerse an empty glass in the bucket of water, you feel the force is pushing the glass upward. You will be thinking that some force is coming out from the upward. The upward pushes of water on the object is called an buoyantic force or the push thrust. This force is applied every object pushing down in the water A swimmer enters into the swimming pool also experience the upward force. This is about your whole thing about your force. The force, you have a gravitational force, frictional force, muscular force, mechanical force, and one more thing, student. Electrostatic force, magnetic force. These are the some of the force we are studied at present. Next you have energy.